All right, welcome back to the Ghosty Girls podcast. I'm Christina.
I am Alicia. Hello. Sorry,
Hello.
Too much? We just had some mows, so I am hyper-focused now with some food in my tummy. You're welcome.
Yeah, she's on something today. She is on it.
I have my glasses on. I'm ready.
Oh my God.
I will say I'm super excited to hear this one because I'm a little bit involved too, only because you allowed me to be.
Aw.
And I'm grateful for that. And I am beyond grateful to just be able to share this story on our mini platform we got here.
Yeah, this episode is going to be a little different than the ones we normally do. And that's for two reasons. One is that we're personally connected to this now.
Yep.
This is a case that happened locally. It happened in 2020. And I followed it since it happened. I remember seeing a post about it on Facebook and being like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a new mom at that time because I had my daughter in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And this story really struck a chord with me because it's about a mother and her daughter. It's about a daughter. And I just remember being like, I don't know how I would be able to carry on if something like that happened to my daughter. And the second reason that this is going to be a little different is because we actually are going to be using audio clips from the victim's mother because she was kind enough to speak with us. And we had and we sat down with her for like an hour.
Yeah, probably about an hour.
Yeah, and we had a great conversation with her, and she's awesome. Love her. She's very inspirational.
So inspirational and so kind and
yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? She's so forgiving. Her heart, I think, might be made out of gold.
Yeah. She is, I think the best way to describe her is how I described her to her face during the interview. And that was, you're a badass bitch.
Oh, yeah. She is a badass bitch. A bab.
Yeah, she is. I mean, yeah. I personally look up to her because I wouldn't have been able to handle things like she did. There's just no way. But I mean, I'm sure everybody's probably like, what are you guys even talking about?
Probably.
Today we're going to talk about a young girl whose life was taken much too soon in such a ridiculous, just senseless, senseless, stupid way.
Mm-hmm.
And it ruined not only her life, but it ruined a lot of other people's lives.
Yeah. But
even though it did ruin lives, there's still things that we can learn from it. And there's also good. There's still good in the world. And we'll talk about that later on in the episode. You'll see where I'm going with that. But yeah, this is about a girl named Madison Sparrow. And Madison was born on September 12th, 2003 in Virginia. And she had two sisters. In interviews with Delaware Online's Isabel Hughes, Madison was described as a, quote, quiet but secretly spunky girl who cared deeply for those around her. And it's apparent in talking with Madison's mother, Heather, that Madison was an awesome kid who loved trying new things and being involved in pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like this girl, she was in Girl Scouts. She loved to babysit. She had a babysitting license. Like
she did.
What kid has a babysitting license? Like that's so responsible.
Didn't she say she was like 14 or 15 at the time?
I believe
she was
so.
Very young.
Yeah, like what kind of a kid like goes above and beyond like that? Like that's
yeah, well she wanted to be a teacher.
She did. Right? Yeah. So she took all that very seriously. And now I'll play a clip from her mom, Heather, and you'll hear her describing who Madison was.
Oh my gosh, what didn't she try? She had tried track. She did like anything, softball. She picked daisies, and outfield of Canal. Like Madison knew exactly what she wanted to be when she grew up in first grade. She's going to be a teacher. She worked so hard. She loved kids. She got her babysitting license, her lifeguard license. She mentored in my entire Girl Scout troop. She was my co-leader.
So yeah, she was a typical kid, but also like wasn't a typical kid. Like she, in a lot of ways, reminds me of my daughter. Like very like
an old soul.
Yes, exactly. That's the best way to put it. She seems like she was an old soul.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020, Madison was 17 years old and attending high school at Newark Charter. Madison was very well liked, had tons of friends. One of them was a girl named Annika Stalzinski, whom Annika had formed a close friendship with Madison by the time the girls were both in 8th grade.
So they were friends for a long time.
They were friends for a long time. Yeah, they were close. And Madison also had a boyfriend named Noah Sharp. But by 2020, when COVID hit, and as we all know, the world drastically changed. And for whatever reason, Madison decided to break the relationship off with Noah, which is typical for high school kids. Like they have relationships, they have breakups. Sometimes you just decide you don't want to have a boyfriend anymore. Like,
yeah.
There was nothing huge that happened between the two of them. There was no big crazy event that led to their breakup. There was no physical abuse. There was no crazy fighting, like nothing like that. The breakup was amicable, and the two actually remained friends, or so Madison thought. But deep down, Noah was actually harboring a lot of resentment about this breakup. And now we're going to hear from Heather, because one of my questions in the interview with her was, were there any red flags? Because I feel like that's a big thing that we look at with cases. Like, was there anything that could have clued us in to this happening or this person being an absolute fucking monster? Like,
right.
And this is very interesting, and I'm going to let the clip speak for itself.
I ask myself that question every day, okay, because I was so involved, and I still am, with my daughter's friends. I had taken both of these kids, had been on vacations. Madison's Sweet 16, we rented a beach house in Ocean City. Annika was there. I knew these kids so well for years. Sure, Noah was like 2 years older than Madison, and she did meet Noah through her best friend, his sister. I did know them very well. I never would have suspected anything, even when Madison broke it off. So when Madison and Noah broke it off during COVID, like we were so friendly. He had stopped by our house on her birthday week, right? It was because the September 12th was Madison's birthday, and he had stopped by, and they had already been broken up for a couple of months. And I remember him leaving because my best friend Ron was up because we were taking Madison for her birthday lunch, the Red Robin. And I remember Noah leaving, and he kind of looked really, really defeated and sad. And I gave him the biggest hug, and I said, "It's going to be okay, buddy. You're going on to do," this is September, so he would have been starting college. I didn't know what he was doing because Madison, they had really broke things off in an amicable way. There was nothing at all for me to think that this did not end like that. As a matter of fact, weeks, like maybe 10 days prior, Annika had reached out to Madison for this ice cream date, because they always did this. I've taken them. I have pictures of Annika and Madison because their birthdays were about a month and a half apart, but they would go out for ice cream. I would take them. Like, this is nothing. This was something that they did, but the difference is she's driving now. And I'm like, are you sure you want to go with Annika? Isn't she dating your ex-boyfriend? Again, girl code. What the hell?
Right.
But it was just she was totally okay with it. And my kid couldn't lie. I knew her too well. Like, we just had a very open relationship. So I had no signs, nothing. And I've racked my brain, obviously, because that's something that you do after this kind of betrayal.
So now we're going to get into what happened that day. Madison's friend, Annika, had invited Madison out for ice cream. Okay, and this was something that they did a lot. It was like a little girl date. Now, one thing that is important to know is that after Madison and Noah's breakup, Noah actually began dating Annika. So you can see where that might get a little messy.
Not weird at all.
But Madison was okay with it because in her mind, things had ended amicably with Noah. There was no drama. She didn't have any lingering feelings for him. So she was totally okay with her friend Annika dating Noah. She was okay with it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool, honestly. Even if I didn't have feelings for my ex-boyfriend anymore, I really would feel some kind of way if my best friend or one of my best friends started dating my ex.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's awkward, right?
100%.
You know?
It's awkward, especially if you all run in the same friend circle too.
And they did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I
they
mean.
did. And I feel like that also says a lot about Madison's character as a person.
She was an old soul. She had a mature thought and view on life, it sounds like.
That's a very mature decision for a 17-year-old. Because I can tell you right now, when I was 17, my petty ass would have been like, we're not friends anymore. Like, you don't do that.
Your petty ass would do that now.
Fair. But it's just like Heather said, like, isn't that kind of against girl code? Yeah. It really is. But despite all that, Madison was still like, I'm going to be friends with this girl. Like, she didn't have any ill will towards either of them.
And I love that.
I know. So, and just to show how much of a non-issue this was to Madison, she was scheduled to go out with Annika that day. Annika was going to come by the house to pick her up. And you guys know how in every case there's that one detail that just like fucking kills me. Like in the Colleen Slemmer, Krista Pike case, it was her mom going to pick up her belongings and everything was stolen and all she had left was a pair of socks. I can't even think about that without wanting to cry. In this case, the fact that Madison got all ready to go on this like fun girls outing and she put on a pair of little ghost earrings, I'm going to start crying.
Don't do it.
It fucking killed me. It's just those little details that really humanize a case. Like it's such a normal everyday thing. Like you get dressed up, you put on your fun ghost earrings.
I mean,
and then in an hour, you're gone.
Yeah. You and I as 40-year-olds still wear those ghost earrings. I get excited.
I know.
I mean, I wear them all year round, but I get extra excited in October. Like, and I think that's why that has such a big pull, especially for you with the ghost earrings.
And Madison, like I read in one of the articles, was like super excited for spooky season.
Yeah.
And her mom said she loved paranormal stuff and loved all the spooky stuff. So just hearing that, I think of my daughter getting all excited to do something and putting on her little ghost earrings, and then I know it's stupid, but that detail fucking guts me.
It's not stupid because it drives it so close to home. Hopefully for more people than just you. Even if it's one small detail in any case that
I know
brings it close to home or close to your heart.
Yeah, it's so crazy to me how life just changes in an instant.
I know. Do you need to take a minute?
No, I'm good. 1 minute, you're thinking that you're going to go out and have fun with your friend, and the next,
you're gone.
Yes. It's just, it's surreal. I don't know. And now we're going to hear from Heather about the events that happened that day.
It was during COVID. She was going to just go get ice cream. I had given her some money to get her sister a birthday card. And, she left the house at 2:44. I know that because I'm printing out at my computer. I'm sitting there printing out like COVID forms for carpool. And I was getting ready to carpool for swim because my other daughter swam year round. So I'm sitting there and she kissed me on the forehead because I like leaned back when she was leaving, and I'm in front of my computer and it's 2:44 and I watch in my bay window them drive off. I have nothing out of the ordinary other than, they're 17 now and they're driving off, and that's a lot. But we had also been through that with some of Madison's older friends that lived in the neighborhood. By the time I get the text, I was driving carpool, so I waited till I had arrived at a location. I looked at it and I was like, what? You're running away and I'm a bitch? Madison was not perfect, but Madison did not curse very often. So I knew immediately, like, what's going on. So took my daughter to swim. I saw a friend of mine there. I said, can you just stay here? I can't reach Madison. She just left the house. This is now like 3:30. I'm at the YMCA. I'm like, I'm just going to run home, figure this out. You just kissed me goodbye. This came out of left field. I raced home. I went through her room. All of her birthday money's there. Like, she would have taken her money and stuff with her if she was running away. But also, she would have never run away.
That day, Annika picked up Madison and they went off for ice cream. As you heard Madison's mother, Heather, say, she kissed her on the forehead. She watched her out the bay window drive off with Annika, and that was that. Shortly after, she started getting some very disturbing and out of character text messages sent from Madison's phone. And they were things like, I'm running away, you're a bitch, blah, blah, blah. And as you could hear, her mom was like, what? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So of course that raised alarm bells. And it's important to note that other people in Madison's social circle started receiving these weird text messages as well. So this automatically raised alarm bells.
Yeah.
After Heather couldn't get a hold of Madison, she started to panic. She knew that something was not right. And like she said, she went through her room. All of her money was there. So yeah, she can't get a hold of Madison, and she immediately knows that something is not right. So now Heather is going to talk about reporting Madison missing and the aftermath of that.
But I will tell you that in Delaware, it takes like an act of Congress. How long did it take me to get that gold alert?
Yeah, the gold alert wasn't until like the next Saturday. It might have been Saturday afternoon.
And I had called Noah's mom. I had called my parents in Virginia, I think at like 9:00 that night after I had called the police, which is so terrifying, by the way. I hope you never have to do it, because shit gets real when you do that. Yeah. And I didn't do that until I had talked to Noah's mom, and she's like, you haven't called the police yet? And I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, I'm on it. Like, sure, I'm doing that now. Like, it's terrifying. My parents knew Madison, obviously, her whole life. This is how serious and how out of character this would have been. I told them at 9. They arrived at my house from Virginia at like 4 a.m.
Wow.
It was big. And I'm trying not to overreact. And then they show up, and then my dad's like pounding down at the troop, like trying to get somebody to give us answers. It was my sister's on the phone doing the missing posters. I had Grand Central Station, like all of my friends, all of my people. Shannon was there the whole time passing out flyers. Nobody would ever let me leave the house during that time, which I am so thankful for, I think, but I was out of my mind. Mm-hmm. I was out of my mind. So it's terrifying.
Yeah, I can't even imagine going through that.
No. Thank God she had her people keeping her home.
I know. And that's one thing that Heather consistently said throughout the interview, is that she had a lot of really good people behind her. Mm-hmm. Like, the community really rallied behind her. Her family is awesome. Her friends are awesome. Madison's friends are awesome. Yep. They all gathered around her, which is good because she needed that support.
Yep. I think the thing that stuck out to me when she was talking about her community is the fact that she said that, it's all such a whirlwind. Yeah. And you don't remember things that are said that you say.
Right.
And that happen. And she had those people to be like, well, this is what was said. This is what you said. And this is how we moved forward.
Yeah.
Which is such a huge blessing to have in such a terrible situation.
Yeah, I agree. On October 5th, 2020, after questioning family and friends and determining that Madison had been in the area of her ex-boyfriend, Noah Sharp, was brought in for questioning. That very day, just 3 days after Madison went missing, Noah ultimately confessed and was charged with first-degree murder, conspiracy, and possession of a deadly weapon during the commission of a felony. And it's important to note that even though Noah was arrested and charged, Annika wasn't formally charged for weeks after Madison's murder. So Annika was still attending Zoom classes because, remember, this was during COVID times. Mm-hmm. So all classes were virtual. So Annika was in these Zoom classes with Madison's friends who all knew she was involved.
Man, that had to be hard.
Yeah, everyone knew. Classmates knew. Teachers knew.
How is that even possible?
I can't even imagine how traumatic that must have been for Madison's friends. Like, that's fucked.
Even her teachers.
Yeah.
I can't.
They all knew she was involved, and she's just sitting there in Zoom classes, like, carrying on like ain't shit happen. Isn't that fucked up?
That's real fucked up. I mean, at least, like, temporarily move her from school or something.
Yeah.
So,
or put the other kids in a different, I don't know, put Madison's friends in a different class just for their mental health. You know what I mean?
I mean, not even just take Annika out.
Yeah.
Why move everybody else? They're already going through so much.
Right. And I'm not faulting the school for that because, I mean, honestly, there's probably nothing that they could have done.
Yeah.
But I just especially feel bad for the kids because that's traumatic. These are kids.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine sitting in a Zoom class and knowing, and like you see their face, you know what I mean? Like, and knowing that this kid had something to do with my friend's murder and she's just sitting there like doing algebra with me. Like, what?
Yeah, that's not okay.
When Heather told me that like made me sick to my stomach.
I can imagine what those kids felt every day seeing her face.
Nope.
That's crazy.
Yeah. After solidifying Annika's involvement in Madison's murder, Annika was charged with first-degree murder in November of 2020 and ultimately pleaded guilty to conspiracy and murder in exchange for an agreement which included testifying against Noah during his trial. And this is what we learned during that trial. Annika brought Madison to the nature trail behind McClary Elementary School in Newark, where Noah was waiting to ambush her. He was actually hiding behind a tree. He pops out, surprises her. Annika said that Madison looked shocked that he was even there, which rightfully so.
I mean, yeah.
Because you don't expect that.
It's a girl's day.
Yeah. So Noah comes out from behind a tree, and he has an aluminum baseball bat in his hand, and he beats Madison twice over the head. He later said that he had, quote unquote, just snapped that day, and that if he couldn't get Madison to feel any kind of emotional pain, then he was going to get her to feel some kind of physical pain.
I hate that.
That was his justification for this. He wanted to hurt her as badly as she hurt him. In his mind.
I hate it.
Annika did nothing to help her friend. Nothing. At one point in trial, she claimed that she tried to like jump in and pull Madison out of the way. It comes out later that this never happened. She did fuck all to help her friend. She did nothing. She stood there. She just stood there. So then Noah and Annika, they drag Madison's body to Annika's car, and they ultimately bury her in a shallow grave underneath an overpass off of Interstate 95 after first attempting to drown her in the Christina River because Madison was still alive after Noah beat her with the bat. She was still alive.
I hate these two.
Yeah. And now we're going to hear from Madison's mother.
Somebody had found, after they had told us that they had found her body, somebody had found out for us where her body was. And that was obviously leaked through a friend's family, whatever the case might be. But I remember the sun was getting ready to go down, and I looked at my people, and I'm like, take me there now. Take me there right now. Do not pass go. Do not, like, I need to be there. And they took me right to it, to the shallow grave. It was sad. And the first time, like, I jumped in it. And I felt like I was with her.
That part was really difficult to listen to. Her climbing in the grave of her daughter.
I know. But she also said that that is the closest that she felt to Maddie, or the closest, the most kind of closure. I can't talk. The most closure that she had with the whole thing. You know, she felt her. She felt her there.
I
know.
Can't even imagine. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get through this without getting upset. Okay.
Listen,
I'm sorry. I apologize. Mm-mm. You guys know me, the mother-daughter stuff. Oh God. It kills me. It really, really does.
Honestly, I got all of my crying out just watching the videos of Maddie that her family put together.
Oh, dear God. Yeah.
I mean, I was in my car, like, I had to pull over. I was crying so hard. I was like, okay.
There is a beautiful video that Madison's aunt, Heather's sister, made. And it is pictures and little video clips of Madison set to music. And I'm just going to say, it took me a couple tries to get through that whole thing.
Same.
I had to take breaks because
it's
hard.
The video of the vigil, it's just, it was so beautiful too. And to see the strength that was up there, and the strength and support of the crowd and friends and people that don't even know them.
Yeah, and we'll link all that too. But getting back to the trial, so yeah, the details of the murder came out in the trial. It also came out that Noah and Annika had actually planned Madison's death for weeks prior. They meticulously planned this out. There were tons of text messages between the two that were shown in court. If one parent would have checked Annika's phone, Madison would probably still be alive today. Of course, you have to remember, Noah was 18 at that point. So he's considered an adult. I mean, I hate to consider an 18-year-old an adult. With Annika, she was underage.
Yeah.
Why the fuck was no one checking her cell phone?
It's true.
Why was no one checking her cell phone? Why were her parents not checking her fucking phone? Okay. And if it sounds like I'm judging, good, because I am.
Same.
Check your teenagers' fucking cell phones. Thank you and goodbye. Okay? Who is not monitoring their children's?
Almost everyone out there, I feel like. It is a nightmare.
Really?
I don't.
People don't check their children's cell phones?
I don't know. Comment below and let us know if you check your kids' cell phones.
And if you're not,
do it.
Check them.
Yep. This could have been prevented very easily.
Annika's testimony was pretty wild considering how close her and Madison had been. Annika had even been invited to Ocean City, Maryland for Madison's 16th birthday the prior year. And Heather actually told us a story about how she had gotten up early to watch the sunrise. Annika was the only kid there that woke up early and watched it with her. And it's just unfathomable to me that just a year later, Annika planned and assisted in Madison's murder. How do you go from sitting with your best friend's mother watching a sunrise to then killing her in the span of a year?
I don't know.
Now, according to Annika, Noah had apparently been telling Annika that Madison had been, quote unquote, spreading her business, which not only is such a dumb kid thing to say, but it also wasn't true. Madison wasn't talking about Annika behind her back. This was Noah trying to pit Annika against Madison for his sick vendetta against her. He even went as far as telling Annika that Madison wanted to fight her and said, like, Madison's calling you names. He was just being a complete shit stirrer.
Yeah, and Heather said Madison was, like, not she was like on another level. Like she was never that person.
Yeah. Well, you can see like she didn't even care that one of her best friends was dating her ex.
Exactly.
And Annika, being the dumb kid that she was, fell for it hook, line, and sinker. In addition to both of their confessions, both Noah and Annika's DNA were found at the elementary school, and they were also found at Madison's burial site. There was also surveillance footage from the school showing Noah walking alongside Annika carrying the aluminum baseball bat. They also found Noah's bare footprints in the mud at the gravesite because apparently he had taken his shoes off, and they were actually able to do a cast of the print, and it matched his foot perfectly.
I did not know that.
Yep. Yeah. So we don't just have confessions here, okay? We have solid
receipts.
Evidence.
Yeah.
Yes. These two did it. So I don't want to hear anybody talking about false confession bullshit and all that. These two did it, okay? Noah's defense team focused on the authenticity, or lack thereof, of Annika's statements. And they also went as far as saying that it was possible that someone else had access to Noah's phone during the time that he had been planning the murder with Annika.
And his foot, maybe?
Sure, Jan. Yeah, I guess somebody borrowed his foot too. And
yeah.
This is interesting. The defense actually tried to use this as part of their defense. Noah apparently sustained a head injury a few weeks before the murder. And I will say that is a little interesting. Okay, we've talked about head injuries before on the podcast, it causing aggression with people, blah, 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 whatever. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any other information regarding what exactly happened other than it happened in Pennsylvania. I do want to point out that I think it's very funny how he claims that he was suffering memory issues, but he was able to remember to show up at the agreed upon site at the correct date, at the correct time, to carry out his plot with Annika to murder Madison, and was also able to remember exactly where they had buried Madison's body to the point where he was able to lead detectives directly to it. But I digress.
That's why.
So I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on this defense. In the case of the state of Delaware versus Noah Sharp, after not even 3 hours of deliberation, the jury reached their verdict.
3 hours?
3 hours.
Not even.
Not even. Yeah.
Not even 3 hours.
Yup. They returned their verdict of guilty.
Good. Fuck that guy.
After the verdict, Heather said that she had no words, but she did use a quote that her daughter often used. Embrace the light, not the dark. Love wins. Noah was ultimately sentenced to life in prison.
Good.
Which in Delaware, I mean, we don't have the death penalty.
Yeah.
So he's where he belongs. Annika was ultimately sentenced to 30 years with the possibility of parole. I will say that that is the maximum sentence under Delaware state law that she could have received.
As a minor.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. And I asked Heather how she felt about the possibility of Annika's parole. And this is a quote from her.
We as the victims have zero control over that. I have zero control over that. And so I don't put any energy towards it. Like the same with him. Like there has been a law that changed recently. I know people that have gotten out because they're aged out, or there's certain things in the state of Delaware. If there's prison overcrowding and you've aged out and you've done good things in there, which people are in there that really have changed their lives and turned it around, because I meet them on a regular basis. And I think that's amazing. But it's not my place to judge that. I have no control. So I don't put anything towards it. I would be more concerned about my other daughter being out there and being worried about having to hear that, my family members that would have to know that. But yeah, from day one, I would have no control over any of that.
It's so scary to me how the victims' families have no say in parole.
I know. Like they can go and make a statement, but they have no say. It's not okay. Do better.
It's things like that kind of make me ashamed to be a part of the legal system, because it's so broken.
Yeah, but you didn't create it.
Sometimes it just feels gross. to be a part of a system that is so fucking broken sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. You're right. I think the statement that she made there alone just gives her and her family and friends so much freedom.
Yeah.
You know, not feeling like they have to be concerned about and they have to worry about that. Like there's nothing they can do. Why stress about it?
Yeah. One thing that was also very interesting to find out during our interview with Heather is that she actually met with Annika in prison. And now we're going to hear her talk about that.
So I was afforded the opportunity, like through a rabbit hole that I fell down, because that's what also happens as a victim of crime. Like it's not that hard. It's very, very easy to fall down a rabbit hole. And it was before the trial. I had like gone online and there was this thing in Delaware called the Apology Letter Bank. And you can put your information in case a prisoner ever wanted to write an apology. And Noah's spending the rest of his life in jail. But that's not my, like, I have no control over that, right? Annika, she was 17. She took a deal. The state could have never given her more than 30. That's important to say, too. They will review it at 30. But I did that, and in putting down my information, knowing that there these no apology letters in the bank for me, right? Like that would be insane before a trial. The lady that runs Victims Voices Heard and I struck up a friendship, and I now serve on the board. And one of the programs that we have is the Victim Offender Dialogue Program, and there's about 5 to 6 months of training meetings that you go through with to prepare you. And at the same time, they're meeting every other week with the offender in the prison, knowing full well that at any time, any moment, even the day of the meeting, either one of you could back out. She's obviously housed at Baylor because it's the only one women's prison in Delaware. And through that program and through my involvement, I was able to be the first victim offender dialogue in the prison at Baylor. And I was able to sit down with her for 4 hours. And she was able to give me so much, because the trial certainly doesn't give you everything because it's a trial, right? But I knew, because you exchanged letters, and I knew our in-between person, who was luckily one of my dear friends, Kim, I knew that everything that I got from her was accurate. And I'm so grateful for that experience, because it did a few things. This happened a year ago in the end of August. And I feel like it gave my other daughter part of her mom back, because I was able to get, I hate the word closure, I'll never freaking use it, but I was able to get the answers. I was able to sit with her. I hugged her. We talked, because for me, and I'm not in this, certainly I understand the other side of it too. It was really important for me. Madison was such a forgiving soul. I don't think I ever had a choice in doing it, because that she's just in me so hard. Because had I had the choice of being like furious and hating, and maybe I would have chosen that. But this is like who my daughter was. Annika had accepted and admitted and did testify at his trial. Didn't have to do that. She was probably terrified. We are always going to be tied together. They took my daughter's life. I think about them all the time. She was shocked to hear that. But they've done this terrible thing and they've ruined their lives. So the fact that I was able to get some of the answers, she was filled with rage and jealousy, because Noah had not gotten over Madison. And alone, neither one of these kids would have ever been capable of doing this act. I think that talking to each other in almost in a crazy, like, game kind of way, it built up. And I know at least for Annika, it wasn't real until it was real. And it got real fast in the woods that day. She was in it. I also know that she was probably kind of scared for herself in the woods, like this violence is happening. But she admitted she's just as guilty as he is. And, they both dragged her body out of the woods at McClary, and they both put her in the trunk. And, the number one most important thing for me, being the mother of this beautiful person, was like I was there when she was born. I needed to know how she left. And that was my main goal. I don't think I needed to know why jealous teenage angst and crazy got in a big old pot and got together and stirred each other up and hurt people. I think both of these kids probably didn't have like it super easy, for whatever reason. Hurt people. Something broke those kids a long time before we met them. But yeah, she was able to give me that. And through that, I am also eternally grateful. I know now where my daughter was when she took her last breath.
Like, how classy of a person is she to be able to speak that way after?
I think it's super impactful too. Hurt people.
Yeah.
And that's a quote that, that's going to stick with me forever.
One of the questions we always ask with these types of cases is why. We want to know why. Why would someone fucking do something like this? And one of the most powerful things that Heather said to us was, there's never a good reason.
No, there isn't.
There's never a reason, period.
No, it's because they were stupid. They were kids, and that's not always the case. But
can you imagine going into a prison and hugging, let alone talking to the person who helped murder your daughter?
No.
She dragged her dead body. She wasn't the one that physically caused Madison's death. She wasn't the one that swung the bat. But she is just as guilty.
She got her there.
And she helped cover it up.
She walked her to the trap.
Yeah. I even read in a Delaware Online article that Annika actually took a pair of like shears or hedge clippers or something and actually went out to that spot under 95, like where they had buried her, and like carved out a path for them to walk before the murder.
It was that pre-planned?
Yes.
Damn.
These are children.
I mean, they, like she said too, they ruined their lives too.
Yeah. So, yeah, we always tend to ask why something like this happened. There is no why. There's no good why.
Nope, never.
And when I can't get an answer to that question, my mind goes to this space of, what can we learn from this? One of the reasons, and I've said this in another podcast episode, one of the reasons that I want to talk about true crime and cases is because there's always something that can be learned from them, whether it be red flags, warning signs. I know we have young female listeners. Maybe they'll hear something one day and be like, shit, that's not
normal.
That's not normal. In this case, there was none of that. She was very involved in Madison's life. She told us that she regularly checked Madison's phone.
She did all the right things.
She did everything right. And there weren't any red flags for Madison either. So yeah, we can't learn anything about red flags or anything like that from this case. But what we can learn...
Check your kids' phones.
Yes, is to be vigilant with your children. Because again, this was pre-planned. There were tons of text messages between Annika and Noah. Annika's parents, at the very least, should have been checking her fucking phone.
100%.
It is what it is. I mean, they should have been checking her fucking phone.
Yeah.
And we talked about this extensively with Heather, and this is what she had to say about that.
I was also probably too much involved in my kids' lives, checking phones, doing all this stuff. I think that's a huge point that I want to make. For for weeks, for almost a month, Noah and Annika exchanged text messages blatantly on their cell phones because we sat through the trial and got to see them all. If one parent would have glanced at one text, and it just sends chills down my spine.
And she's right. If one person would have checked. It's like how we've said in other, like if one person cared, you know, it only takes one person. Check your kids' cell phones. I don't know. Maybe there's one random person out there that's listening and is like, oh shit, I've never checked my kid's cell phone. Maybe I should fucking check it. And maybe they'll check it and find some shit and save a life. I don't know.
And your kid's not going to be happy about it, but you're the parent, not the friend. What do you always say?
Cares? I will be your friend when you're 18. Okay. And that's not saying that I'm an asshole to my kid. I always tell my kid, like, oh, you're my best friend. But when it comes down to it, I'm your parent. Yep. Okay. I've straight up told her, she's 8, and I've been like, one of my jobs is to make sure you don't turn out to be an asshole. Tough love, okay? But I'll be damned if she turns out to be an asshole, okay? I'll be damned if she turns out to plan her friend's fucking murder.
She won't.
It's not happening on my watch. I can tell you that right now.
No, because your ass will be checking your phone. Her phone, not your phone. I mean, you'll be checking both phones.
Because if that bitch is in my name, that's my phone too.
True.
So Heather did everything right.
She did everything right. It's just not fair.
It's not. It's really not. But some good did come out of this, and we'll hear about that right now.
My community is amazing. I cannot say enough about like Newark Charter School, my whole community. I was able, my best friend Andrea started this like Love Wins 5K. We just finished the 5th and final year. We've raised so much money every year for the last 5 years. This will be the 5th year. We give a scholarship in Madison's name through the school, and it can be up to $10,000 per kid. And these kids, we just had our first girl who went into education, and she's teaching now. And she's amazing. So shout out to Kristen White. I love that girl so much. She was our first reciprocant. And what a wonderful human. And so I love the Love Wednesday, the race, and everybody comes out and you see these moms and daughters. That's what gets me all the time. And like, you know, my Girl Scouts come out and they sell goodies that they've got, like your daughter sold the bracelets. The bracelets, and donate the money to the scholarship. I mean, these are like amazing. There's so much good in the world that we can if we focus on the horrible, horrible things that happen, we would go insane. She's affected so many people in her short time with us that in a lot of ways, that's such a gift that I get to see, because we work hard as moms. We pour every ounce of our souls into these children. And it's been a gift that I've been able to see how she affected the world.
What a badass.
Yeah, even though this is an absolutely horrific story, the fact that she can put a positive spin on it, I don't even have any words.
I feel like typically you have two choices. You can rise up or you can sink down, right?
Yeah, mine would be sink down if someone murdered my kid.
It's not even that. I feel like Heather rose up and then kept rising. Do you know what I mean?
Went above and beyond.
That's my thing. I think she just stood up and said, let's fucking go, and just kept going, which is just so freaking inspirational. Like I
know.
I mean, just being able to talk to her.
It really puts things into perspective. I can tell you right now, I look at life a little differently after that interview.
Yeah.
I really do.
I mean, honestly, even just, and I know we've already said this, you can take this out, but even after just watching that memorial video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, life's too short. Hug everybody.
Is. We asked Heather if she would like to say anything, like any final words about Madison. And this is what she had to say.
She just was love and cared. Not perfect. Certainly got in trouble a couple of times. And one of my mom things that I do is I make my kids write out what they did in an apology letter. And I have saved them through the years. And these letters, I'd be like, nope, you forgot a part. Like, certainly they do things, right? 16, taking a car out in the middle of the night, getting caught by not going out of the neighborhood, but still like silly things. Okay. Yeah. And thank God I have record of all of that too. Because I did look at my other best friend and I said, don't let me forget she wasn't freaking perfect. Because that can be that could happen pretty easily. But God, was she special. Oof. I miss her every day. I miss her every minute. First thing I think about when I wake up. Last thing I think about when I go to sleep. Talk to her all the time. And I wish she could be here with us. Because I would have loved to see what she would have done and accomplished.
I can't.
It's like a knife to the chest. It really is.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Don't look at me right now.
Don't look at me.
Don't even look at it. Don't even. Sorry, I gotta get some humor in here somewhere because this.
Don't look at me.
We're both sitting here like crying.
Okay, it passed.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm glad I wore my glasses.
One of the cool things that we talked about during our interview is that Madison was really into the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
And us being the Ghosty Girls, paranormal investigators, we had to ask Heather about that.
Yes.
We had to ask her if Madison had, shown her any signs.
Mm-hmm.
She said all the time. One of the things that she said that really stuck out in my mind was her light flickering.
Mm-hmm.
That happened a lot with Madison. So I just want to share this story because it really made me feel connected. I told Alicia, after I started talking to Heather, I've always had weird stuff happen in my house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't even think it's happened in any house I've lived in.
Something just knocked over here 4 times.
Yes.
P.S. I don't know if you heard that
I
or
know.
not.
I know. And it's not the house specifically. I think that things just attach themselves to me, which is fine. It's fine. As long as you're not trying to hurt my family.
Nope.
I'm okay with it. I am open to communication.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I started having some weird stuff happen after I started talking to Heather. Stuff that I haven't had happen before that was different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So while I was editing the interview and pulling out and cleaning up the voice clips, my overhead light, my dining room light, started flickering. And I was like, that's kind of weird. Because it wasn't like all the light. It wasn't like an electrical thing, like the power was about to go out or anything. It wasn't like everything started like, how when you're about to lose power.
Mm-hmm.
This was just one specific light. It was the light right above my head. So yeah, it wasn't anything electrical, like the power about to go out or anything, because that'll happen sometimes. Like shit'll flicker. It was just the one light. It was the light above my head. And it did it a couple times. And I kind of laughed and I was like, just randomly, I was like, oh, hey, Madison.
Mm-hmm.
And it stopped. And it didn't do it since.
Yep.
I really think she just wanted to be acknowledged.
100%.
So I sent a message to Heather and I was like, hey, I'm editing this episode and the lights are flickering.
So cool.
She was like, that's my girl.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit back and forth. She said that she made the cranberries that you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Crackberries, as I call them.
She said they were eating them all day.
As they should be. They're freaking
as
delicious.
As the good Lord intended.
Mm-hmm.
And, we talked for a little bit and then I went back to editing. And then all of a sudden my phone starts ringing. Well, who am I kidding? Vibrating, because I don't ever have that shit on ring.
Yeah.
So my phone starts vibrating and I see it's a Facebook Messenger call. Like, the voice calls from Facebook Messenger. And it's Heather. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. No one calls me.
Yeah.
Like, people just text me.
Right.
So I thought about it and I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe she knows that I'm editing an episode, right? Maybe she wants to, like, tell me a story or say, hey, can you take this out? Or, hey, can you add this in? Which absolutely I would have. And I pick it up and I see the phone, like, kind of, like, moving around. And she looks at the camera and she was like, oh, my God, hey. And I was like, hey, like, did you need something? And she was like, I didn't dial your number. I didn't call you.
So weird.
And she was like, I put my phone in my pocket after we talked, but I didn't call you. And I was like, that's really weird. Okay. So her sister was there and her sister like came out and Heather was like, my phone just called her for no reason. Isn't that weird? And her sister was like, no, it's not weird. That's Madison.
Yeah, I believe it.
And it was just like a really I don't know. It just made me feel very connected to her for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, honestly, like, ever since you told me you wanted to cover this episode.
And this was a while ago.
This was before you ever even reached out to Heather. I feel like you've always had an odd connection to this case.
Yes.
Like you said, you followed it from day one. Like, I remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't like follow it as tightly as I have some of like the more recent ones.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm so grateful that you did, because what a freaking journey this has been.
This is how much of a psycho I am when it comes to true crime. Okay. Like, I saw the missing persons poster. It was the gold alert, actually. So this was before anyone had even known that she was murdered. Mm-hmm. I went as far as going on kids' Facebook pages looking at shit. Mm-hmm. I just had a feeling. I was like, that he's got something to do with it. I found the ex-boyfriend.
Well, you have that weird tuition shit too.
And then not like very shortly after that is when they announced that they had made an arrest, and it was him. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't call the thing with her friend, but I knew he had something to do with it. I just had this gut instinct.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always felt weirdly connected to this case, almost like, it sounds like really ridiculous, and I don't want to like give myself too much credit and toot my own horn, but it really, really feels like I was meant to tell this story.
Yeah, I feel like you were. I
don't know why.
I feel like your stars aligned.
And it's weird. You know? Like, I've reached out to people before when I've done research, and I fully expect them to not respond. Mm-mm. And I'm okay with that.
Or if they do respond, give you a thank you so much, no.
Exactly. And that's totally fine. I get it. I get it. But for whatever reason, when I reached out to Heather, I just knew she was going to respond. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't a question of like, oh, wow, I wonder if she's going to respond. It was just like, when is she going to see it? Well, when is she going to see it? Like, I knew she was going to respond. Yeah. In this weird way.
And I think just like other people that we have met through the podcast, like, she's in our friend circle now, whether she likes it or not.
Oh, yeah, we already told you.
Yeah, Heather, we already warned you. Sorry.
Yeah. And I mean, we made friends with a family member of a victim of Stephen Pinnell. And we're
we
good
need
friends
to
with
reach
her.
out to her.
Yeah, I know. I keep telling her, I'm like, we keep saying we're going to hang out.
And we never do.
Never follows through. We never follow through with it.
Yeah, we're the worst.
Well, it's hard with everything going on. There's so much shit going on.
We can do it though. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, but man, we've done some stuff with this podcast, and I'm proud of that.
Me too. If anybody wants to help us market, let us know. We're doing our best.
Yeah, or if anybody has a case that's close to them, like, we will tell that story. Mm-hmm. I will tell it to the best of my ability. I will leave out anything that's incorrect.
I'll throw in some fun comments.
A dad joke, if you will.
Yep, dad joke or two.
But, I mean, I know Heather's listening to this, and Heather, you're our friend, whether you like it or not.
Sorry in advance.
Sorry.
No, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we even told her, we were like, we will happily come to you with our ghost hunting equipment, and we'll bring wine and snacks. Like, don't tempt us with a good time. Okay?
Listen, I have a charcuterie board costume I can wear. I can be the charcuterie board.
Wait. What?
It's in my car. You want to say it?
Is that a question? Yes, I'm going to need to see that. I'm going to need to see that.
I'm on it.
But, yeah, like, what a story. What a life. And
listen, the inspiration.
And
family and the I've said inspiration a lot on this one. But that's truly how I feel. I feel inspired by Heather and her story and her fight just for justice and everything that she went through, her positive outlook on everything. It's incredible. It really, really is incredible.
Yeah. She's stronger than I am. I can tell you that right now.
Me too. Probably the two of us combined.
Yes. Somebody on the stairs.
I feel like, yeah. Hello? Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
Hold on. Someone was walking down the steps. Not even the dog or cat.
Are you kidding?
I swear to God.
Hey, Madison.
So we had to take a little bit of a break because we were recording and someone walked down the steps.
Well, now Binks is coming down the steps, but she makes zero noise.
A human walked down the steps. Like, I thought it was my daughter, and I stopped to be like, hey, do you need anything? Because she's upstairs, because she's not allowed to be around the recording stuff. We literally just heard a human walk down the steps, and stop.
You know what? They probably heard it on here.
Oh, yeah. I should leave that part in.
Yeah. Listen to me saying you're welcome.
I go to check and there's no one there. Thanks. This is how I want to end the podcast, okay?
Okay.
Amongst the items that Heather forwarded to us in preparation for this episode was her victim impact statement. And this was actually read in court. And I want to read it in its entirety for the podcast because I feel that it's important to hear.
Before you read this, I do want to say I think it's shitty that the victims who are reading the statements have to look at the judge and not the person that it's aimed towards.
I'm going to tell you right now, y'all know I work in the legal field. I've never heard of that before. Yeah, I don't know if it's a Delaware thing. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. When she mentioned she was going to send this to you.
Yes.
To read, I remember her saying that she had to look at the judge, and I thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, the fact that judge, and you said you know that judge, and he's like a little scary.
He's very no nonsense. Yeah. And he's very, well, I mean, most judges are no nonsense, but I've seen him in court before. Mm-hmm. And he's scary. He's a little scary.
Yeah.
He's intimidating. Okay.
Good word.
Which is good. That's a good quality for a judge. They should be intimidating.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I will have to look into that because I have never heard that before. And honestly, like even if you even watch court TV and you watch victim impact statements for big trials, they're allowed to talk to the defendant. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
But that was upsetting.
There was some kind of a reason. I just don't know.
There had to have been. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I digress.
No, it's fine.
I'm looking forward to hear it. I don't want to say excited, but I'm looking forward to hearing it.
So this was sent to us from Heather. She says, I wrote this statement just a few short weeks after Madison was taken from us. I wrote it not knowing what a victim's statement even was. I never changed one word, but I do want you to know that I added the final line after sitting through the trial. This is what I was allowed to read at sentencing. You will not turn this into anything other than exactly what it is. This was murder. You are sane, you are capable, and you know the consequences of your actions. What you don't know is that I define the narrative of my daughter's life. She was beautiful, quietly effective, brilliantly sober, magnetic to those who knew her, a little sister to Gwen, a big sister to Molly, Kevin's first daughter, Granddaddy and Nana's first grandchild, the most amazing cousin and niece, a friend and a mentor. You robbed so many people that day with your thought out actions, your deliberate harm, your complete lack of humanity, which took the life of our beautiful Madison, our Maddie. What it didn't rob us of is love, our humanity, our compassion, and our ability to forgive. I stand here and weep for you. I weep for your families. I weep for your wasted futures. You will never again be the child you were, the young adult, the mother or father you could have been. You murdered your futures alongside with Madison on October 2nd, 2020. You did this, and nothing will ever change that. I know the person you are inside deep down. I know that you were the only girl that woke up to watch the sunrise with me on Madison's sweet 16 birthday weekend on the beach. I know you were the boy that made TikToks with Madison's younger sister Molly because you cared about Madison's family and enjoyed being part of it. I know that we will always be connected as we fall asleep every night of our lives, seeing the same beautiful, the forever youthful face of Madison, your friend, and my daughter. The difference is, I sleep sound for birthing such an amazing human. Although brief, her life meant so much to so many. You, on the other hand, are already forgotten. Your family will never again write about you in their story. Madison's family will today and every day say her name out loud and forever be proud of everything she accomplished in her short time with us. Madison's family wants you to know that love will always win. Noah and Annika, I want you both to know that I forgive you. powerful.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
If I could just throw in a little piece. I don't think I said this on here yet, but if you watch the memorial, she says there are multiple families right now that are mourning. She is so thoughtful and has such grace that she understands Noah's family and Annika's families have also lost someone.
Yeah.
You know, although they can go to the jail and see them and talk to them,
they're still gone.
They're still gone. And
just in a different way, but they're not there anymore.
What a beautiful soul that she's that considerate to think of.
To say that about her daughter's murderer at her vigil.
Yes. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, I wouldn't have said that.
I know.
I
mean, she's an incredible person. I can't.
Yeah, she is. And I just want to give a quick thank you to Heather for talking to us and sending us the information that she did, the pictures that she did. I got to see pictures of Madison that I hadn't seen before, and we will put them on our Facebook, and we'll put links to everything, all the sources, the memorial video we were talking about, the video of the vigil of Heather speaking. But yeah, just a huge thanks to her for taking the time to speak with us and sharing this story. Like, she could have shared this with anyone. She picked us. And that feels really fucking good. And I hope that we did this justice. I hope.
What did I say to you when we were taking a mini break? I really do think that because your heart is so into this, I think this is one of the best ones you've ever done.
Oh, thank you.
And yours are always like good.
That.
Mine are all over the fucking place because that's who I am. But like, seriously, this, I think this was from the heart and so gratefully done. Like gracefully done, gratefully done. Either way you want to say it.
Thank you.
You did an awesome job.
I appreciate that. I have been so nervous about this because I'm like, I got to get this right. This has to be perfect.
It's perfect.
You know that I'm a perfectionist, but this really kicked it into high gear. Like, this brought me to another level. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, did it? No, it didn't. We haven't spent, 4 hours. It's fine.
But yeah, again, huge thank you to Heather.
Yes, thank you.
I don't believe they're going to be doing the Love Wins 5K anymore, but if they ever start that up again, which I hope that they do, I know it's a lot of work, but if she does organize anything else in Madison's honor, we will absolutely promote that and pass the information along and tell everybody. And obviously we would love to be a part of that as well, because again, this case is very special to us, and I hope we did it justice. But thank you guys for listening. Again, if you're a parent, check your children's cell phones.
Not that hard. Do it.
Yeah, you have every right to. Okay? It's protecting your child, right?
And yourself and other people possibly.
Really. Thank you guys for listening and supporting us as per usual. Starting next week, we are going to be diving into a series that'll probably be a 3-parter, maybe 4-parter. I don't know. I haven't finished it yet.
I don't know.
It's a lot. We'll see.
It's going to be good though, because I know what it's on and you don't.
Yeah, I've been working hard on it, but I don't know. I need a vacation. I'm not even gonna lie.
Good thing you're going on one soon.
Going away soon, because damn. Take some time out for yourselves, guys.
Hug your friends, hug your family. Yes. Life's too short.
Check your kids' cell phones, all the things.
Yes.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Please don't be one.
For real.
Bye. Love you. Bye.